Okie dokie, so we should be live. We should be live. We are indeed live on a Friday evening here in the UK. It's wet, it's dark, it's windy, it's rainy, but stick with me for cool sound jazz sounds of the 70s. Now I'm taking a piss. Yeah, just some boxing talk, non-boxing talk, whatever topic comes up. No, as always, no set topic in mind. We'll just shoot the breeze, chat shit. You guys know the protocol at this stage. We don't do topics, man. We don't do topics. We don't do none of this dumb shit. But yeah, man, let's talk some shit. Big up to Levi Khan, straight out of NYC. Big up to Levi. Hopefully you've been making that money in the Big Apple. Big up to Levi. Big up to the neutral corner, by the way. Salute to you. Salute to you. Volts UK. Big up to you. Yeah, man. We got some fights coming up this weekend. I'm actually looking forward to Jamal James versus Radzab Butayev. I think that's going to be a really good fight. I'm picking Butayev, but that's going to be a war. If you like violence, you like a good old-fashioned tear-up. That fight's definitely worth checking out. You've also got Jaron Ennis on the undercard, fighting Thomas Delorme. I mean, that's an okay test, I guess, but Thomas Delorme doesn't have much of a chin, it has to be said. And Top Rank also have a card. They have a card headlined by Jose Zepeda versus Josue Vargas. That's actually a good fight. Vargas can fight a bit, and given where Zepeda's at these days, who knows? That could be a good fight as well. So there's a couple of fights to watch out for this weekend. Yeah, Babich Molina as well. Yeah, I mean, I was saying, Levi, if it's the Molina from the Wilder fight, I think that guy would knock out Babich, but that guy doesn't exist anymore. And basically now he looks for a soft spot on the canvas to lay down. So I would say Molina probably goes out of there in the third round, maybe. Something like that, third, fourth round. Big up to Volts UK. Jake Paul versus Tommy Fury confirmed for December the 18th. Don't be surprised if Tommy Fury takes a dive in that fight. Don't be surprised. Tommy Fury's all about the money. He's all about the fame. So don't be shocked if Tommy Fury takes a dive. Hopefully it's a real fight, but I'm not expecting too much. Topic is fat women. Big up to Iceman. PBW lovers in the house. Yeah, MTK show is such a piss take. Can't even watch it. IFL TV being idiots and not even putting the stream on. Yeah, they always used to be on IFL, bro. Those MTK cards, and some of those MTK cards were actually quite good as well. You know. Yeah, Castagna beat what's his name? The American prospect. I watched it on the Zone. I forgot the kid's name, but yeah, he beat that dude. Yeah, that. Honestly, if it's the same Castagna from that fight, he probably wins. Yeah, Jose Vargas got his teeth knocked out by a journeyman in his 40s. I don't think Zepeda will be too troubled. I get that, Levi, and I would agree with you, but Zepeda obviously has been through that war with Baranchik, so how much does Zepeda have left? That's the question. If he's a bit shot, then yeah, Vargas can give him trouble. It all depends on what Zepeda has left, honestly. MMA question. What are your thoughts on Hezbollah joining UFC? That's the little man from Dagestan. Hilarious, man. I'm sick of seeing that guy in my timeline, honestly. I'm sick of seeing that guy. Yeah, I saw that. I've heard that as well, Volts UK, about a no knockout clause. How believable that is, I'm not sure. I wouldn't be surprised, but you know. Yeah, I like the first Jeepers Creepers, good movie, but the other ones not so much. Not so much. Ofer Jones, that's for one. I was going to say Raymond Ford for some reason. Ofer Jones, yes, that's for one I was thinking about. I saw that on the Zone, yeah. And yeah, if it's the same Castagna from that fight, he's got a chance because Yusuf Kamari didn't look great in his last fight, so we'll see. That's what I'm thinking, Levi. That's what I'm thinking. There's a lot of money in Jake Paul right now, so we'll see. He's recently signed a deal with Showtime, so don't be surprised if Tommy Fury takes a dive. Big up to Felipe every single time. Salute to Felipe. £192 for Fury and Paul. I think that suits both guys. I'll have to watch that. I've not seen it. I'll have to watch it. Yes, Dwarf Slayer versus Tank Davis pay-per-view. I'm looking forward to it, man. I don't have to pay for it, so I'm looking forward to it. Listen, man, more than likely Rolly's going to get knocked Spark out, so it is what it is, man. But Rolly Romero, I find that dude funny for some reason. I like his moxie. I do. He makes me laugh, man, so it is what it is. Sometimes, when it comes to boxing, you get a lot of elitist boxing fans. They'll say, oh, this guy's not a top 10 contender. He sucks. I'm not going to watch him. I'll watch anybody. It's not just about being good or, winning titles and shit. It's also about entertaining people, boxing. And a lot of fight fans, particularly on YouTube, they do lose sight of that. I watch boxing across all the levels, man, from Southern area all the way to world level. If it's a good fight, it's a good fight, But people these days, man, they're so fucking snobbish when it comes to boxing. Yeah, Jeepers Creepers 2 was okay, but yeah, I can take it or leave it kind of thing. I loved Jeepers Creepers 1, especially the first half of that movie. Oh, big up to G-Man, by the way. Big up to G-Man. Great channel. Salute G-Man. Yeah, has the game really changed this weekend? No. We have Alan Babich versus Eric Molina. Eric Molina is being recycled more than a fucking neighborhood whore. He's been ran through by so many different guys at this point, Eric Molina. So, you've got that to look forward to on DAZN. And you've got Chantel Cameron, so that's not a great card. It's not a great card. Yeah, big up G-Man every time. Yeah, I saw that, yeah. Dillian White's only pro MMA fight, yeah. I've seen that. I saw that a long time ago, actually. I've also seen Dillian White's kickboxing fights. There's a few of those online. Yeah, I don't really like either guy, G-Man, to be honest. I don't really like either guy, but could be fun. You're trolling. Not my boy Rolly, man. Not my boy. Nah. Rolly's good. Rolly Romero. Let's Twitter it. Let's see if these allegations are true. Oh damn. Yeah, let's face it. Let's face it. As of right now, these are merely allegations. These are merely allegations. So hang on, what is this all about? What's he been accused of? I think Rolly Romero is getting Me Too'd. I think that's what's happening here. I'm not sure what's going on here. Okay. Okay. Fuck's sake, man. Damn, not my boy Rolly. Fuck's sake, we need to solve this right now. What's Rolly done? Okay. Okay, so yeah, basically Rolly Romero right now has been Me Too'd. That's what's happening right now. Okay, yeah, he's being Me Too'd. He's being Me Too'd. Damn, not my boy Rolly. Listen, man, I'm not going to cast any aspersions or any judgment. We will wait until this issue has been explored further and we get a court judgment. Until then, I'm not going to say anything. Thoughts on the Boxer Sky link up? Good shows, better than BT in my opinion. It's too early to say, I would say, at this point. It's too early to say. The first show was okay. I felt the last show was a bit poor, to be honest. I'm not going to lie. It is ultimately, though, honestly, it's too early to say. They need to build a stable. They need to get some young prospects up there as well. It's going to take a long while. They're basically building from scratch. So, I think people right now are being too overly critical of Boxer and Sky. They need a good solid 12 months to build something. But they do have a platform. They have Sky Sports News to promote. They have a lot going for them. So we shall see. We shall see. Hunter versus Wallin. But apparently Salita wanted to make Hunter versus Wallin at the O2. That's a good fight. That's a good fight. I like that. And Michael Van Gerwen asks a similar question. What's next for Wallin? I like the Michael Hunter fight. Michael Van Gerwen. That's a good fight. I do like that fight. That's a good fight. I like the Wallin fight for Otto Wallin. Robert Helenius is a good fight for Otto Wallin. There's a few good fights out there for Wallin right now. Yeah, he's basically been Me Too'd, James. Better change for profile pic. Listen, man, for all we know, these women could have been like bribed by Tank Davis, Who knows? I'm joking. I'm not going to say anything. But I think that's a good shout. I think we should change our profile picture because you never know. So I'm going to jump off a Rolly Romero hype train and we're going to put our chain-smoking friend, Ricardo Mayorga. How about that? Yeah, it's all over Twitter, G-Man. It's all over Twitter. Yeah, Mayweather's daughter, acting like Jason Voorhees out here, facing 20 years for a stabbing. Yeah, it's all going crazy down in the Mayweather gym. He was accused for trying to force a chick to suck his D. Rolly Bomero. So basically, he did nothing. Yeah, exactly, man. But in all seriousness, man, if he's genuinely done nothing wrong, and this is a setup, is anybody going to pay for it? Of course not, man. Listen, you got to let that shit go to court. I don't believe in airing somebody out on social media with claims like that without subsequent proof. And I'm not, in all seriousness, I'm not downplaying that issue at all. I'm not taking the side of the abuser, as the lefties like to say, but it's just a reality. You can't air somebody out like that without it going to court and without it being proven, or without having real proof, because if he hasn't done anything wrong, that's something that can stick with you for a long, long time, even if you're innocent. So I feel a certain type of way about that, airing things like that out on social media before it's gone to court. Come on, man. So we'll see. Yeah, Hunter Wallin's a great fight, G-Man. I like that fight a lot, G-Man. I would take Hunter to win that fight, though. Stylistically, I think that's quite kind to Hunter, but, it's a good fight. I heard that as well. Apparently, they only offered 25 grand to Otto Wallin, so that's why he turned it down, apparently. Yeah, exactly. Danny Annette. Fuck's sake. Joshua's looking for a trainer. G-Man should be considered. He would improve Joshua's boxing stance, improve jab, etc. Joshua could do worse. Yeah, do you know Joshua? I know Joshua gets a lot of stick. He's not my favourite fighter in the world by any means, but I felt for a long time when it comes to Anthony Joshua that, and I felt this way even before his Ruiz loss, that he's a guy who's basically kind of hit a ceiling right now in terms of his development, but I've always felt he's got another level of potential that he's not explored yet, that he's not got to yet. And I don't think he's got the right training set up right now to get to that level Again, I'm not the biggest fan of Joshua. Has the mainstream media overhyped him? Absolutely. But that's not to say he's not a very good heavyweight, because he is. And I do think there's something more from Joshua that he's not, to me, he's not fighting at his optimum potential as of right now. Just my opinion. Wardley versus Wallin, I would watch it, but I think it might be too early for Fabio Wardley, to be honest. For me, Fabio Wardley, a good fight for him is Nathan Gorman. Could be that, yeah, maybe. Big up to Anthony Manzana, salute. Julio Cesar Martinez. They want Rolly's pay-per-view money after they found out he was fighting Tank Davis. Yes, maybe. Yeah, trial by media. Yeah, listen, man, there's no excuse for that sort of behavior, man, because those allegations can ruin somebody, even if they've done something, even if they've not done anything wrong. So people need to hold up, man, and stop casting aspersions. I'm not saying he did do it or didn't do it, but wait for it to come out, you know? Wait for it to come out. I've heard feminists say if another woman falsely accused her son of the R word, she wouldn't want her to face any consequences. Jesus. Yeah, we'll see what they do on Sky. I think it's gonna be tricky with Sky, but they do have a lot of things going for them. They've got a big platform, a built-in subscriber base. Everybody knows who Sky are. So we'll see with Sky. We'll see. Okay, watch out for Hassan and Adam Aziz boxing on the Riakpur card on the 20th. Okay, interesting. I've seen Adam Azim fight. I'm sure I have. Not sure about Hassan though. How do you see the WBC purse bids for White Fury going? Why Eddie Hearn might just ask for too much money. ESPN won't give them fuck all. Yeah, I mean, the thing is that fight doesn't really do much in America. I think that's the problem. But in the UK, I think it generates decent money. Tyson Fury does need to stay active. I mean, when you look at it realistically, Usyk is fighting Joshua again in March, April. Can Tyson Fury get a bigger fight in the meantime? Probably not. I think Dillian White stylistically is quite kind to Tyson Fury. If Fury can get a few million, 10 million, whatever, just take the fight. I think it's a very winnable fight. It's an easy payday. Why not take it? Exactly, Anthony, yeah. As a boxer, how ignorant do you have to be to ignore the advice of the best pound-for-pound fighter in the world today, giving you advice to improve yourself as a fighter? But we have to realize this is Ryan Garcia we're talking about. How arrogant do you have to be to feel like you don't need help? Yeah, Ryan Garcia is a product of the social media generation where, you think a few YouTube videos and a few Instagram selfies and you've made it. Ryan Garcia, for me, Ryan Garcia struck me as the type of dude for a long time who sees boxing as a side gig. Basically, he sees boxing as a way to further his profile on social media. Boxing is not his priority. And I think Canelo Alvarez sees that. I think Team Reynoso sees that. If I was Eddie Reynoso, I would say to Ryan Garcia, listen, you're either fully in or get the fuck out my gym. It's either or. Because Eddie Reynoso, he's got a reputation, I wouldn't fuck around with Ryan Garcia if he's not going to be professional. Big up to JB Low. He says, what's up, Dylan and the chat? The interview from Ultra earlier was great. Best boxing interview I've heard in ages. Yeah, Ultra Tech Boxing is a great fucking channel. Funny dude as well, got great energy, asks some good questions. Very, very good channel, man. You guys know who Ultratech is. Ultratech Sports Raw. Great channel, man. Great channel. I've been following Ultratech for years now. He's had a few channels, but awesome channel, man. I think Butayev wins, Saint. I think Butayev wins. Big up to Bruce goes. Salute to Bruce every single time. White's a heavy bag on legs for Fury to slap around for a few rounds. I think so. Your old dart. The thing with Dillian White, if Tyson Fury adopts his boxing style, boxing behind the jab, taking that half step back kind of thing, maintaining range, I think he schools Dillian White, honestly. I think he absolutely schools Dillian White. I think Tyson Fury can make that fight very easy on himself. Can he walk Dillian White down similar to Wilder? I think so. That strategy is more risky. It gives Dillian more of a chance. So if I was Tyson Fury, I'd box that fight on the back foot, box behind the jab. Dillian's got nothing for Tyson Fury if Tyson boxes. Nothing at all. Nothing at all. The only thing I worry about with Tyson Fury is that he thinks he's now a pressure fighter for every single fight. I don't think that's a wise idea. I really don't. For me personally, Tyson Fury with that same style he fought Wilder in the third fight, I think that Fury loses to Usyk. I kid you not. I kid you not. Tyson Fury needs to, keep adjusting his style to his opponents, not stick with that one style. I agree, yeah. The thing is, though, Neutral Corner, as we know, MTK right now haven't got a good name in the UK with the Daniel Kinahan connection, so they're going to find it really hard to get a TV deal, particularly with the likes of Sky and whatnot. So they're going to struggle, MTK, but I do like what they're doing. Big up to Saint. Salute to Saint. Ryan's confidence has been dented by Luke decking him. The way he celebrated was excessive at that point of his career. Yeah, exactly. Like Luke Campbell is a perennial fringe top 10 contender. That's it. The way Ryan Garcia was celebrating, you would have thought he knocked out a prime Duran kind of thing. Yeah, big up to your old Dar. Salute. Yeah, Ultra's got a great channel, man. Really good channel. And again, a funny dude as well. Funny dude. Yeah, White's very open to the uppercuts, the way he puts his weight forwards on the front foot while keeping his head on the line. Key punch for Fury on the inside. I agree, yeah. Yeah, Dillian comes in straight lines, like you say, holds his head over his front knee, really leans in. So, yeah, the uppercut's there for Tyson Fury in that fight, no doubt about it. But if I was Tyson, I'd box that fight. I think he schools Dillian White, honestly. I think he schools Dillian White. Yeah, Ultra's a great channel, man. Ultra's a great channel. For me, I think Ryan is copying the bad aspects of Oscar's boxing persona. Oscar had the same issues when he was younger. He felt he was better than the veterans, and rather than listen to their advice. Yeah, but at least Oscar on the come up, was fighting regularly. I think it was in 1997 he fought 5 times. It was one of those years when he was a champion, he fought 5 times or 4 times in 1 year. So at least Oscar was fighting regularly. He was fighting great competition. Yeah, Oscar was a bit of a cornball, but Oscar was a real fighter. Boxing was his thing. That boxing was his life. With Ryan Garcia, I don't get that same impression. I think Ryan sees boxing as a way to get himself to where he really wants to be, and that is on top of the social media world, maybe acting, that sort of thing. I don't think Ryan is all that invested in boxing, honestly. Big up to Mad Chad, another great channel, by the way. Mad Chad's a great channel, man. Great channel. Yeah, Ultra's a top man, no doubt. Listen, man. I've watched Ultra's channel since he used to do like collaborations with Boxing Gossip back in the day. That's how long I've been following Ultra. And even if Ultra's one of those channels where even if I disagree with him, He'll make me fucking laugh, man. The guy's got great energy, so big up to Ultra. Are you on the Boots hype train? I mean, Jerron Boots Ennis, he's a big welterweight. He's quick. He's athletic. He hits hard. Technically, I do think he's got a lot to improve on. But, sometimes, given his size, given his athleticism, that could take him a long way in the welterweight division. No doubt about it. I would still rank Virgil Ortiz above him in terms of technical ability. But Jerron Ennis is a guy worth looking out for. There's no doubt about it. And I like watching him fight as well. Would you know the 19-year-old Ukrainian prospect Yuri Zakhariev? Seems like a great prospect. Hopefully he goes pro rather than pursue Olympic gold. He's a super welterweight. Never heard of him, Danny. I can't lie to you. But I'll check him out. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If he boxes that fight, takes that half step back, popping the jab, throwing the feints, I think Dillion's going to fall short all night in that fight if Tyson Fury boxes. Dillion's understanding of distance and when he's in and out of range is pretty poor. You'll see him very often throw the right hand when he's not close enough and he'll fall short. Same with a left hook, same with a jab. Dillion doesn't have a great understanding of range. And against a rangy guy who's boxing and moving, I think he's always going to struggle, to be honest. If I'm Tyson Fury, I can walk this guy down and maybe knock him out, maybe stop him late. But I just think that gives Dillion more of a chance. So I wouldn't walk into Dillion. I'd make Dillion take the initiative and pressure, personally. Yeah, I agree, Saint. I agree. It's all about tailoring your style to certain opponents, And that's why I see Tyson Fury as, one of the best heavyweights in the world. He's shown that he can change his style when it, no matter what the opponent is. If he needs to box, he can box. If he needs to pressure, he can pressure. He'll change his style based on the opponent, and hopefully he continues that. I don't want to see Tyson Fury maintain that pressure fighter style. I'm not saying it can't work. I'm not saying he can't beat everybody doing that, but with certain guys, I think it puts him at more risk. You might be right, your old die. You might be right. I would actually make you right, to be honest. I would say so. But again, Abreu beat him unrivaled. Are you serious? Because I saw that Cole Komet guy on the Carl Frampton undercard. The Carl Frampton undercard against Herring. Yeah, I've seen that guy before. He looks okay. So he got beat. Okay. MTK and now Probellum. Yeah, that whole scenario is interesting, bro. Honestly. I'll big up to Anthony again. BCS, who do you think wins the fight between Tio and Devin if it happens? I think Lopez wins the fight in dominant fashion because I feel Devin's a little bit overrated. I get what you're saying about Devin. He still has a lot to prove. But for me, that fight comes down to styles. I know Tio's got a better resume. I know he's beat better guys. But stylistically, I do think Devin Haney gives Teofimo a lot of problems. Like I say, I've said this for a while. Tio is a quick-handed counterpuncher. He likes a guy coming onto him. That's when he looks at his best. We saw that against Richard Comey, Jesse Magdaleno. When a guy comes onto him, he can look like $1 million. Devin Haney is not going to do that. Devin's going to be boxing and moving, maintaining range, popping the jab, changing the angles. Tio's going to have a hard time getting set to punch. And Tio's not great at closing the distance and pressuring, as we saw against Nakatani. So, stylistically, I think Devin gives Tio a really hard fight. If it goes to points, Devin Haney will beat Teofimo Lopez, in my opinion. Tio's got to catch him with a big shot and knock him out, which could happen. It could happen. But I've got a funny feeling Devin wins that fight. That might be controversial, but I'm taking Devin. I'm taking Devin. That could be true, TMT. But at the same time, like Reynoso's fucking with Canelo, so it's not like he needs the extra money. If Ryan Garcia is not pulling his weight, I'm sure eventually he will get frustrated and get rid of him. Yeah, big up to Chad and Bruce Goes. And then, by the way, Unrivaled Boxing Talk is another great channel. Great boxing channel. Listen, we was talking about boxing the other night, and we was talking about guys like fucking Luis Garcia, a Cuban prospect who moved to Ireland, way back in the day, and he's not fought in like 5 years. We was talking about random ass fighters. We was talking about Zol Erdi, Darius Mikuchevsky. That's the sort of boxing fan Unrivaled is. If he's worth talking about, Unrivaled knows about him. So big up to Unrivaled, great channel. What's the gig with Probellum? Apparently something is going down with... I'm not sure with Probellum, to be honest, for Neutral Corner. I've not really researched too much into them. All I know is they are apparently headed by Richard Schaefer. So we'll see. We'll see. It's a weird business model, though. They're signing fighters from all over the world. Badu Jack, Nonito Donaire, Ricky Burns, Regis Prograis, Lewis Ritson. They're signing random-ass fighters. Apparently, they're going to have shows in like Tanzania and God knows where else. It's a weird model, but we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Yeah, that's a good point, TMT. Yeah, if Fury fights that style, the boxer style, which I was alluding to, probably needs to lose 15 pounds or so, 16, 17, 18 pounds. Yeah, say what you want about Oscar and his personal life, but as a fighter, Oscar De La Hoya fought everybody, man. He fought everybody. Ike Quartey, Felix Trinidad, Pernell Whitaker, Mayweather, Pacquiao, Mayorga, Mosley. This guy fought everybody. Bernard Hopkins, Felix Sturm, Chavez. This guy fought fucking everybody, Oscar De La Hoya. He fought everybody. Yuri Boy Campas, Fernando Vargas. Oscar De La Hoya, man, he fought everybody. Gangster. You can call him fruity, man, but that guy could fight. That's facts, Mad Chad, man. Big up to Mad Chad. Julio Cesar Martinez. If social media was around in Oscar's time, he might have turned out the same. Yeah, that's a very good point, Julio Cesar Martinez. That's a very good point. It's easy to say, these guys were cut from a different cloth, but who knows how they would have reacted in this era. That is true. That is true. Yeah, Boxing Gossip, man. He was another great channel, though. I loved Boxing Gossip. His podcast with Irish Tom, Sherry as well, Paul as well. Yeah, that was a great channel. Great channel, man. Mad Chad, I'm the pretty bitch of boxing YouTube. Oh, dear. Yeah, I can't wait to see Tyson and Shane on stage against Dillian and Lamar. I mean, Dean. Yeah, Dean Povetkin. Yeah, that'll be interesting, won't it? Dean Povetkin versus Shane Fury. Who have you guys got? Like Dean Povetkin can scrap by all accounts. That's what I've heard, and I think Shane can scrap. So that's a good one. I'd watch that fight. Shane Fury, Dean White. Yeah, some of the amateur fights can be good, Mad Chad. I think Fury's up there, man. Now, I think Fury's up there. But again, I do want to see him in there with different guys. No doubt about it. Yes, hit the like. Yeah, hit the like. Hit the like. Thank you for reminding me. Hit the fucking like. Anthony says, I understand Tyson has the reach, but to me, a fighter like White, who is a superior inside fighter and has better technical abilities, than him. He seems to struggle with fights like that. I'm not sure whether... No, I don't think Dillian has better technical skills, to be honest. Dillian, it'd be interesting to see if Dillian can maintain an attack to the body in that fight. That's one area where Otto Wallin had success, was the body. And nobody's really targeted Fury's body like that. So it'll be interesting if Dillian can get work to the body early, maybe, but I can't see it, man. I can't see it. Okay, so yeah, got knocked out in the 7th. Tito Fagmo. Chad's a pretty bitch. Usyk's going to KO Joshua in... the fraud Fury will retire before he fights the boxing astronaut SpaceX. Yeah, let's be honest, yeah. If Usyk was the same size as these dudes, the heavyweight division will be on lockdown right now. Nobody's beating Usyk. If Usyk was the same size as these dudes, they're not even competitive fights, quite frankly. Like, Usyk's a better fighter than both Joshua and Fury. He's a better boxer. But, at some point, size does matter. Is that going to happen in the Joshua rematch? Would it happen against Fury? We shall see. We shall see. All I want to see is these fights happen. I wouldn't be surprised. If you could bet on that, that's worth a bet. He's not made weight in a long time now, more than a year. And he was a big lightweight to begin with, so don't be surprised. I think when Tio came along on the scene, he was saying the right things. He was doing the right things. He was stepping up fight by fight. Magdaleno, Edith Tatley, those sort of guys. He was stepping up fight by fight. He then fought a good champion in Richard Comey. He then took the Lomachenko fight. It was going well for Teofimo. But post Lomachenko, man, this guy's undone all his good work as far as I'm concerned. Big up to Hidden Ape VFX. Salute to Hidden Ape. Anthony says, I'm a big fan of the Cuban and Dominican boxers, but what hurts them, in a sense, as you can see them later in their mid-30s, you never see them in their early 20s. Yeah, it's similar to a lot of Eastern European fighters, Anthony. They turn pro very late. Look at Rigondeaux, Lara, even Lomachenko to a lesser degree, Alexander Usyk. These guys didn't turn pro to their mid-late 20s, so Probellum is MTK, yeah. Andy Cruz. Now, Andy Cruz is a guy I want to see turn pro. He's a Cuban with finesse, and he's got a bit of aggression about him as well. My first Gore video wasn't a Gore video. It was a 2010 World Cup match between Portugal and North Korea. I don't understand how North Korea made it to that World Cup. I was 10. I do remember that as well, yeah. They fucking got hammered, yeah. I agree, yeah. I agree. Like, he wasn't even trying to get... it didn't look like he was trying against Wardley. Yeah, I need to at some point, bro. I need to get Unrivaled on. At some point. We can shoot the shit and talk boxing. Because honestly, yeah, like, Mark's the only guy who I've like really, really, really talked boxing with, like, just, like, proper talked boxing with on live stream. And the only other people I would get on here is like G-Man, some guys from the BDA show. That's really it, man. Yeah, we've seen that. We've seen that, and I've quickly changed my profile picture. I need to change my name as well. My name right now is Raw Dog Rowley. Literally Raw Dog Rowley right now. So fuck's sake, we need to change that as well. Edit name. Fuck. Hang on. Yeah, BDA boxing. Yeah, I listen to BDA. BDA is one of my favorite channels when it comes to boxing. I followed BDA since late 2017, early 2018. Yeah, listen, man. One day Unrivaled, we need to make that fucking podcast, man. Fuck boxing. We'll do something else. Would get fucking cancelled ASAP though. Yeah, to be fair to Dean White, I think he knows boxing. He does know boxing. To be fair to him, he knows boxing. Dell should read audiobooks. Could make some decent money. Yeah, I got to learn to read first. Listen, man, that's one thing, you know. Do you know when you record videos and whatnot, you kind of listen to it. Not you don't listen to them back, but you do a little bit of editing. You hear your own voice. I fucking can't stand my own voice. Honestly, can't fucking stand it. But my voice in my when you talk, you kind of hear your voice in your head, kind of thing. My voice to me sounds different to what it actually sounds in real. When I listen to it back, if that makes sense. Yeah, why? Thank you, Pimp My Sniper. Thank you very much. Dillian got slept by a drug-free shot Povetkin. When will the hype die down? That's what I'm thinking, fight film. Like I said that, like even after the first fight in my post-fight review, like Povetkin was looking shot to bits. His legs were terrible in that fight. His balance was way off. He was throwing out of range, falling short. Povetkin looked terrible in that first fight, and White still got slept. That's why I picked White in the second fight, because of how bad Povetkin looked in that first fight. But yeah, Dillian's going to get his sooner rather than later, no doubt about it. No doubt about it. Like I said a few months ago, I think Gassiev knocks out Dillian White right now. Dillian's a good brawler. He's strong. He hits relatively hard, but that's really it. He's like this generation's Chisora. Not saying he's not a good fighter, but yeah, he's not Joe Frazier reincarnated. Yeah, I've got Usyk pound for pound number one right now, Mad Chad. If I had to have anybody, it's Usyk. And that's another one. The whole Parker fight. I mean, take that. Listen, the first knockdown in that fight was bogus. It was a headbutt, which obviously was a 10-8 round for Dillian White. That round, Joseph Parker was winning. If Joseph Parker won that round and the knockdown wasn't called, which it shouldn't have been called, Parker would have won that fight. So Dillian White's had a lot of luck along the way. A lot of luck. Yeah, I remember you, TMT, from those days. Yeah, don't get me wrong. On paper, he's got some good wins, but like I say, the Parker fight, there was an asterisk next to it. The Oscar Rivas fight was extremely fishy, not only because of the drug testing scenario, but also the gloves. I don't want to sound like a Deontay Wilder fan, but go back and look at that. Plus, the fight with Pulev, he never took. He turned down a Joshua rematch. He turned down the Luis Ortiz eliminator. So this guy, man, the guy's not the can man, put it that way, like he paints himself out to be. He's had a managed career to a certain extent. Archie Sharp got the win. He's another guy, neutral corner, Archie Sharp. I think he's a knockout waiting to happen. Yeah, Tio right now is stuck between a rock and a hard place. He doesn't want a Loma rematch, but he wants to wait for Josh Taylor to go to 147, hence why he's calling him out to a catchweight fight. Tio right now wants to fight Kambosos, knock him out, move to 140 and grab a vacant title. That's what Tio wants to do. It's obvious. He doesn't want to fight Loma again. He doesn't want to fight Haney. He doesn't want to fight Josh Taylor. He wants to, wait for Josh to move up. That's what he's waiting on. It's obvious with Tio. Tio's another one of these, this current generation of fighters where he gets one win on paper, one really good win, and he thinks he's cracked it. Boxing's rising late has a sorry. Boxers rising late has a whiff of consumerism influence. Cuba especially, things are slowly becoming westernized. Not sure if that's a positive. No. He needs to go to 130, Anthony. Navarrete. I'd still like to see Navarrete have a few more fights at 126, to tell you the truth. Maybe Gary Russell Jr., Kid Galahad. I think these fights are very winnable for Navarrete. I'd like to see Navarrete unify at 126 and then go to 130, maybe try and get Shakur Stevenson or Oscar Valdez, whoever. They're actually talking about Oscar Valdez, Navarrete right now. That's a really good fight. Really good fight. I'd like that to happen. See, people are moaning. Oh, we want to see Shakur versus Valdez. Good fight. I'd love to see it, but I'm perfectly fine with Navarrete versus Oscar Valdez, and maybe Shakur can fight Robson Conceição in the meantime. Then the winners fight each other. What's not to like about that? I mean, people are complaining, at the prospect of Navarrete versus Oscar Valdez. Are you serious? Yeah. Yeah, I can't see White doing much in that fight. I really can't. Tell is anti-US. If I was a UK person, he would let me on. Now, apparently I'm anti-UK. I hate all UK fighters, apparently. That's the narrative. Facts. I'm not sure who you're referring. Oh, Ty and Booth, yeah. That being said, I would root for Lillian to KO the Fat Gypsy. Yeah, I don't really have a dog in that race, to be honest with you. I've never liked Tyson. Well, I say I've never liked Tyson Fury. I like Tyson Fury on the come up, and basically until the Klitschko fight. But on the comeback, I went off Tyson Fury real quick. Dillian White, Dillian White is what he is, really. Neither here nor there. Oh, fucking hell. BR Salanov, yeah, he's the guy based out in Canada. Yeah, he looks okay, but we need to see a bit more. Oh yeah, no doubt. Yeah, a lot of these guys from Cuba, Eastern Europe, yeah, they do stay in the amateurs a long time. But I think that is going to slowly change over the coming years when they see the money these guys are earning. Like the first wave was what Klitschko, both Klitschko brothers, Vasily Girov, etc. And slowly but surely, each generation, these guys are turning over more and more. So I think you'll see some of these guys turn pro a bit younger in the near future. But we'll see what happens. The thing is, though, like an Olympic gold medal in Eastern Europe is viewed differently to like the UK or the USA. In Eastern Europe, from what I understand, it's still viewed as the pinnacle. Like if you win a gold medal, it's more than being a world champion in the pro game kind of thing. They still view it as, extremely prestigious. Yeah, exactly. I just don't like hearing my voice back, honestly. I can't fucking stand it. That's what I get on the second channel vote. It's either, oh, your voice is really nice, or fucking, oh, your voice fucking sucks. It's one of the two. Yeah, I think so as well. Tyson needs to stay active. Dillian's available. He's Mando. Why not fight him, man? Stylistically, it's a relatively straightforward fight for Tyson Fury. I would say I do like I do from Puerto Rico. I do like Subriel Matias. He's one of my favorites right now. Technically, he's not the greatest, but he's just extremely aggressive. Throws a lot of punches. Works for body. Works for head. He's good value. Really good entertainment. So I would say Subriel Matias is one. I'm not a big fan of Edgar Berlanga, but yeah, there's a couple guys coming through. Yeah, he's the Irish guy, isn't he? Yeah, middleweight. Yeah, surprised Frank let him go, but there you go. I can get it now. You don't want it to get out of control and don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. I'm not sure what you're referring to there. Yeah, White's internet cult is out of control. He's still a good improved fighter, though. I mean, he is what he is, man. He's a good contender. Hard punching contender, kind of limited. He'll come to fight, but, he is what he is, really. Yeah, good shit, yeah. Big up to Marianne G. Exactly, yeah. Tio is, I mean, as the kids say, clout chasing. He doesn't want to fight Josh Taylor. If you do, fight him at 140. Fight him at 140. No fucking catchweight bullshit. He knows Josh Taylor's going to try and move up. He's trying to move up to 147 real soon. And he's calling out Josh Taylor to fight at 137. If anybody believes that's real, then you're a fucking idiot. Straight up. But you know what's going to happen? You can see it right now, yeah? Josh Taylor's going to move up, and some of these, like, sycophant fucking Tio fanboys are going to say, oh, Josh Taylor ducked Teofimo Lopez. You know what's going to happen. It's ridiculous, but... Like, I heard people saying, yeah, I heard Dillian White fans say, oh, Otto Wallin ducked, what's that kid's name? Johnny Fisher, who's got like two or three pro fights. Oh, Johnny Fisher offered the fight to Otto Wallin. Eddie Hearn literally said today, oh, that fight was never going to happen. But these guys are saying Otto Wallin ducked Johnny Fisher. That's how dishonest these people are, man. Clowns. Okay, they're in negotiations. Okay, cool. Listen, man, I wouldn't mind seeing it. Yeah, Tio is totally lost in the wilderness. Nearly as bad as Haney. Davis does shit, but at least he's doing something. I mean, Tank Davis isn't doing much either, to be honest. Out of all of those guys you mentioned, I actually think Devin Haney is the guy who probably wants to fight more than the other two, at least. Like, I think Devin would fight Teofimo. I think he would fight Tank Davis. White Joyce is the fight to make. Yeah, White Joyce is the fight to make. White has never mentioned his name for a reason. There's a lot of guys not mentioning Joe Joyce's name right now, to be fair. But Joe's in a good position, so he's highly ranked. He's WBO Mando. Joe just needs to stay active and fight a couple of guys here and there, wait for his shot. Yeah, there's no way Conor Benn's going to fight Avanesian. No way in hell. They're talking about Chris Algieri, Robert Guerrero, Victor Ortiz for Conor Benn. All of these guys are shot to bits, man. Shot to bits. I'd rather see Florian Marku fight Conor Benn than those guys I mentioned. Like Robert Guerrero, man, that guy's one punch away from permanent CTE. Victor Ortiz, fucking hell, the less said about him, the better. Chris Algieri couldn't knock out a good wank. Awful opponents. Absolutely awful for Conor Benn. And again, it's not just about giving us fight fans fights we want. It's also about giving Conor Benn fights in which he can learn in. And I don't think those fights suffice. I really don't. I really don't. Look, I'd rather see Conor Benn fight Michael McKinson than those guys I mentioned, to be honest. Jesus Christ. Nearly fell arse over tit. Jesus. Oh yeah, Navalete is must-watch TV, man. No doubt about it. Imagine if Fury pulls out a white fight and Wallin offers to step in. I'll be honest with you, the neutral corner. If it was a couple of years ago, I would say, yeah, good first defense. But Kiko Martinez these days, man, he's seen better days. Like, Kiko's been around for a long while now, man. Had a lot of hard fights, so I think that's a routine title defense for Kid Galahad. The fight I want to see most is Kid Galahad Navarrete. I think that's a great fight. JB Low, I'm looking at your video titles on Disturbed Reality. Your 4 million views has a title with 3 hype words: Mexican cartel, chainsaw murder. Your newer vids don't have that. May be useful. Yeah, it's all about finding the right case, bro. It's all about finding the right case that people are going to be like clickbaited into, I guess. But you know, it is what it is. It is what it is. Like, I'm pretty happy with the views for all of those videos on that channel. All of them. One of those fucking videos got shadow banned. You know, I was fuming. Like, not today's one, not the one before that, but the one before that. That got shadow banned for like a week. I was fuming. Yeah, Kid Galahad is good. He is good. Technically, one of the best in the UK, I would say, Kid Galahad. Probably not. Listen, I know a little bit, but there's guys out here who know a lot more than me. Dell likes his women big-butted, big-breasted, and big-legged when he hits the disco. Big up to Big Boys Boxing as well. Another good channel. He covers the heavyweights. Really good channel, man. Based in New Zealand. Good dude as well. Yeah, hit the like, indeed. Smash that fucking like. Don't forget to hit the like and smash subscribe. To win for your country is more prestigious than winning for yourself. I'm not sure about that. Not sure about that, especially in this day and age. Let's say I was a pro athlete and I feel the way I do about the world now. I wouldn't be fighting for this country, put it that way. I really wouldn't. That's a good point, actually. Not one of these UK Olympians have turned pro yet. Like, after 2012, like, a lot of these guys turned pro within like 2 or 3 months after the Olympics. That's a good point. That's a good point. I wonder why that is. Maybe the money's not quite the same. Yeah, I was saying this Unrivaled. I don't think it's a bad weekend. But I've got Butaev beating Jamal James, maybe by late stoppage. As for Vargas and Zepeda, for me, that fight all depends on what Zepeda has left. If it's the Zepeda from the Hank Lundy fight, then Vargas has a great chance. But if it's Zepeda at his best, Zepeda should win. Like Vargas is pretty aggressive, and Zepeda's a good counter puncher. And I could see Zepeda walking him onto shots, kind of thing. But I think I might go Zepeda. But it's a hard fight to call, that one, for me. Oh, can you imagine if Sabriel Matias steps in for Rolly Romero? I'd be fucking happy. Put it that way. I'd be happy as hell. Matias is good to watch, man. He's good to watch. He's a violent individual, comes to fight, throws a lot of punches, hits hard, body and head. What's not to like, man? Madchad's got Vargas and James. So me and Madchad are completely different there. I've got Butayev and Zepeda, but I can see why you're picking both guys, to be honest. How different would the fight have been if Tyson Fury fought a prime Vladimir Klitschko? I think Tyson's chance in that fight is within the first 4 or 5 rounds. If he can't get Vladimir out of there, I think Vladimir beats him, to be honest, neutralizes him, beats him on points or knocks him out late. I think if you're talking about Klitschko's, I think Vitali's the worst stylistic matchup for Tyson. I really do. I think Tyson's got a chance against Vladimir, but not against Vitali. I think Vitali fucks up Mike. I'll be honest. Oh, by the way, big up to Tony Boswell for the super chat and the support. He says, much respect at Blue Collar Sports and the chat. Stopped in to show support and hit the like button. Working and listening. Salute. Yeah, man, hopefully work goes well. Weekend is coming up. Fingers crossed you have the weekend off so you can relax, chill, all that good stuff. But yeah, big up to Tony Boswell. The support doesn't go unnoticed, man. So big up to Tony. Big up to Tony every single time. Salute to Tony. Big up to Maurizio Torres. Salute to Maurizio. Yeah, Galahad might be in the top 5 British fighters of today. Says a lot about the lack of depth in British boxing. The champions who retired have not been replaced. Where are the top prospects? I agree. I totally agree. And I said this a little while ago at the start of the pandemic. British boxing, not only, we rely on our amateur scene, obviously, like the Olympians and whatnot, but we also rely on small hall boxing, guys coming up who nobody has really heard of, learning on the small hall circuit and developing from there. And eventually they'll get a shot on a big show and they can make a name for themselves. The small hall circuit's been destroyed by COVID. It's been absolutely destroyed. So there's a generation of fighters who don't have backing, who don't have a great amateur background, who have not fought in 18, 19 months. And a lot of these guys, man, have left boxing. And at best case, they've lost nearly 2 years of development. So British boxing is heading for a recession, I would say. Once Fury goes, once AJ goes, British boxing's in a bad place. I'm telling you now. I said this 18 months ago. British boxing's going to be in a bad place in 18 months' time. Like, these Olympians really need to do something. The likes of Ben Whittaker, Galal Yafai, etc., Fraser Clark. These guys need to do something. Because if they don't, British boxing's in for a bit of a dark age. That's my prediction. Yeah, the only thing I don't like about Devin Haney right now is that rematch clause he's demanded against Jojo Diaz, of all people. That's ridiculous. Exactly, yeah. The white fight makes sense for Fury, yeah. Because, Usyk's fighting AJ and Fury needs to stay active, yeah. Exactly. Yeah, Florian has got a fight with Sky next, I believe. Okay, so Joe Joyce is only WBO Mando according to Frank Warren. The WBO hasn't said that. Interesting. But you know Frank though, he's got a good relationship with the WBO, so he can make that happen. No, Unrivaled told me about it though. Unrivaled told me about it. He said he got knocked the fuck out. Yeah, Conor Benn right now is acting like a hype job, no doubt. Yeah, White's the backup guy. You know, that's what White is. White is the backup guy. It depends on it depends on the division, the neutral corner. Maybe at 154 you could do it, like domestically. Yeah, Delorme. Listen, man, Delorme's got no chin. He's a good boxer. He can box a bit, but he's got no chin, man. He's got no chin. So I think he's going to get knocked out mid rounds more than likely. But maybe he can take Boots a few rounds. You know, we'll see though. We'll see. Yeah, I think Galahad's a very good fighter, but you got to take into account there are two good champions in that division as well. In Gary Russell, I know Gary Russell doesn't fight regular, but he's a good champion in my opinion. And you've got Navarrete, who in my opinion is a very good fighter. So Galahad would do very well to beat those guys. Galahad's a really good technical boxer, very good, but Navarrete is so unorthodox. He throws so many punches. He's big, applies a lot of pressure, and I'm not sure Kid Galahad's got the power to keep him off. So I think Navarrete would be a very hard fight for Galahad. I really do. But I'd love to see it. I'd love to see it. Yes, big up to Disturbed Reality. That guy's got a great channel, you know. Yeah, I would say 154. Excluding light heavyweight and 154. Fuck me. Outside of those two divisions, I'm struggling, to be honest with you. I'm struggling. Maybe 140, like O'Hara Davis, Akeem Ennis-Brown, Sam Maxwell. You know, Luke Campbell's retired. I said he could have moved up. I'm not really sure, to be honest. Yeah, don't encourage Dell with this cartel gore nightmare fuel. Yeah, you don't want to end up like me. Yeah, that's another good fight as well. Maurizio Lara against Kid Galahad. Yeah, that's another good fight. Right now, Josh Warrington, I've got no interest whatsoever, to be honest with you. GB Guthrie, no interest whatsoever. He's lucky, man. He's lucky he escaped that fight with Lara, with a draw. He's so fucking lucky. He would have got knocked out again. Big girls boxing. Christ. Would you be like Matty Cash representing Poland? Yeah, 100%, man. 100%. Supdale, Halloween Kills was awful. I thought they said Myers was not going to be supernatural in this version. He sure does a lot of supernatural shit. Yeah, exactly, yeah. Yeah, the new Halloween sucked. Absolutely fucking terrible. In my opinion. It depends what you like, though. Like, if you're a Halloween, like, if you loved the original Halloween, you're not going to like it, man. You're not going to like it. If you want to see a cheap slasher, yeah, it's a bit of fun, but Halloween Kills sucked. Garbage movie, in my opinion. Yeah, David, leave a boxer alone. Yeah, I agree with the Conor Benn stuff. Hasn't fought nobody domestically and clearly doesn't want to fight Avanesian because every IFL interview he tries to justify not fighting him, shaking my head. Yeah, exactly. Conor Benn is what he is, man. Conor Benn is what he is, man. Like, at least fight Michael McKinson. Like, I'd be happy with Michael McKinson. I'd be more than happy. I say fair play, good fight, tricky style, fair enough. I'd be happy with that. But I've got no interest in Robert Guerrero or Victor Ortiz. You know what I mean? Like, these guys are shot to bits. Chris Algieri. I mean, Chris Algieri, man. This guy. Listen. Chris Algieri, Christ. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Zepeda, definition of a hot and cold fighter. No doubt about it. Yeah. Yeah, Unrivaled told me, yeah. Kalakmet got sparked, yep. I'm not sure, Felipe, but, based on that last performance, he didn't look good. He didn't look good. Yeah, Tony Boswell, man, he always supports. Yeah, the British light heavyweight scene right now is, I mean, these guys, they need to fight each other. We have Arthur versus Yard 2, which is coming up, but apart from that, these guys, they're not really doing much. I wouldn't mind seeing, I actually think Yard's going to beat Arthur in the rematch, but, it is what it is. Whatever, man. I'm losing interest in those guys. Big up to Luis. Okay, Vargas is now the betting favourite over Zepeda. Oh, is that official, Duck? Imam Katayev turning pro. He's got a pro style, from what I saw anyway, in the Olympics. He looks good. He does look interesting. So that's now official, Duck. Katayev's turning pro. Let's have a look on Twitter. Okay, yeah, he's making his pro debut on November 3rd in Chechnya. Yeah, man. Interesting. Fucking Chechen warlord's gonna fucking come for violence. Yes, yeah, he could be interesting, Imam Katayev. I wouldn't go that far crazy, D3. None of these guys have that, mainstream appeal, but they can make for good fights. Yeah, exactly, GB Guthrie. Yeah, Sonny Edwards, good fighter. Joe Cordina, meh. But yeah, they're nothing to write home about. Yep. Oh yeah, Mayweather's daughter's like Jason Voorhees out here. Imagine having a father who's a multi-millionaire and still ending in that predicament. Can you imagine? Jesus Christ. Okay, your favorite fighters are Emmanuel Navarrete, Virgil Ortiz, and to a certain extent, Shakur Stevenson and Saul Canelo Alvarez. Okay. I agree on the first two. I do like both of those guys. They're two of my favorites as well. Navarrete and Ortiz. I do like those guys. I'm not a big fan of Canelo or Shakur Stevenson personally, but yeah, exactly. Yeah, he is what he is, man. He's a decent contender. Like, decent is how I would describe him. A mid-tier contender. Okay, the Alim Kanuli fight got moved to the Bud versus Porter card. Okay, he's fighting. Is he fighting Hassan and Dam? Maybe. Yeah, Hassan and Dam. I'm sure. I done a little research on Escriva Falcao because there was rumours he was going to fight Golovkin back in the summer, and he looks okay. He doesn't look too bad. He's a big middleweight, Falcao. Good amateur background, hits relatively hard. He does one of those guys who does the basics quite well, and he's got size as well. So, yeah, Falcao looks okay to me. He doesn't look too bad. But we need to see him in that sort of testing fight to really know how good he is. But he looks okay from what little research I've done. We'll see how he looks though. No, Sergey Lipinets is done, I would say. Sergey Lipinets is done. Honestly, I'd rather fucking... I can't with Andrade. I really can't. Like, Jason Quigley's fucking awful. Absolutely awful. This guy got dog-walked by a shot Toriano Johnson. And he basically quit from what I remember, Jason Quigley. And that's who Demetrius Andrade's fighting. Awful. Yeah, Lara would be a good fight for Galahad, yeah. Maurizio Lara. Quigley's a bum, end of. And that is from an Irishman. Yeah, I've heard of this dude's name before. Patrice Volney, yeah, but I've never seen him fight. Patrice Volney, okay. But I do think Falcao's decent. From what a little I've seen. I'm not going to proclaim him to be the next coming of Carlos Monzon, but he looks all right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Warrington was looking for a way out, headbutting Lara like that. His career was finished when he joined Matchroom. Had not even the luxury of cashing out for a big money fight like Billy Joe Saunders. Yeah, exactly. Should have stayed with old Frankie boy, Josh Warrington. Yeah. Sounds like a Czech chick, yeah. Eddie putting on an additional show on December the 11th for the loss of White to the Bill this weekend, and Taylor set to feature Chisora Park 2 press on Monday. Okay. We'll see what that show's like. Who knows, man? Who knows? I guess Liam Williams is Wales' best boxer right now. A few years ago, we had Lee Selby, Nathan Cleverly, but yeah, Wales. There's not too many guys coming out of Wales right now. Sorry, Del, can't go by your taste of movies. You don't like any of the Bond movies either. Yeah, I'm not a big Bond fan, man. I'm not a big Bond fan. I watched those films growing up, man, and a few of them were okay, but they were what they were, really. Yeah, Bump of K, yeah, I agree. I'm not a big fan. Yeah, Billy Joe is he's a scrub, let's be honest. He's got a bum mentality, Billy Joe Saunders. He was looking to cash out for a long time, and he did that against Canelo. First sign of trouble, he swallowed. Yeah, I've not seen the card yet. Hopefully they're in good fights. Yeah, I see it on Twitter, Duck. Yeah, I think it's an 8-rounder from what I saw. So fingers crossed, man. He gets moved like quickly. Yeah, Conceição does for basics well too. Yeah, combined with size, that can take you a long way. You know, it can take you a long way. So it'll be interesting to see Falcao, see what he's like, see how good he is. He might surprise people. He might surprise people. Like Brazil in the last sort of 5, 6, 7, 8 years, they are doing better in the amateurs. You know, you got the Falcao brothers. I know the other Falcao brother wasn't that good, but he was a good amateur. You had Conceição. They are doing a bit better now, Brazil, in the amateurs. So maybe there's a bit of talent coming from that part of the world. Who knows? I'm sure there's another guy as well. Favorite candy bar? To be honest with you, I'm not a big fan of like candy and shit. I guess like, you know, like a regular fucking Mars bar is my favorite. Something like that. Like I rarely eat chocolate. Like once in a blue moon kind of thing. I rarely eat chocolate. Probably round 9, round 10, something like that. Caleb Plant probably takes a knee. Yeah, I agree. Yeah. Andrade's a special type of fighter. He bores his opponents into submission. The audience too. Yeah, he's the cure for insomnia. Demetrius Andrade, like it's not even like I don't mind technically sound fighters who just outbox somebody and they don't have power. I don't mind that so much. It's like, to me, Andrade is just so fucking ugly to watch, man. He holds, he clinches, ducks below the waist, he swings like a madman. The guy, man, people call this guy a technically great fighter. Like, he's awkward, yeah, cool. He's awkward, but he's not technically sound. He does a lot wrong, man. Horrible punch technique with wide shots in particular. His right hand is awful. He's got a good jab, a good uppercut. That's really it. And he's awkward, but he's not technically proficient. Andrade, he's not. His footwork's fucking horrible. I don't get what people see with Andrade. I never have. He's got worse. He's got worse. Like he looked okay versus Willie Nelson back in the day and Brian Rose, but he's got worse since then. He's got worse. He's awful, Andrade. Absolutely awful. One of the most overrated fighters in the whole of boxing, Andrade. I'm talking about amongst hardcore boxing fans. Andrade is one of the most overrated fighters in boxing. I'll still take Jamal Charlo to beat him. I think he's fucking awful. I don't get how you can fucking watch Andrade and pretend you like it. No, nobody fucking likes watching Andrade fight. I'd rather fucking wank with sandpaper than watch that cunt fight again. Fuck Andrade, man. Andrade, Jesus. And that's taken some effort. Quigley's actually Andrade's worst opponent. Yeah, that's taken some effort. A big up to Recognize the Matrix, part of the BDA family. Salute to Recognize every single time. Yeah, that fight's going to be okay for what it is, man. You know, 2 mid-tier heavyweights going at it. It's going to be okay. First fight was decent enough. I didn't mind the first fight. Yeah, exactly, man. But you know how it is, Duck. Oh, Loma lost to Salido. Salido had 12 losses. You know how it is. Yeah, we're not going to get that rematch bump of K. I think people now need to forget about that rematch. It's not going to happen. Unfortunately, it's not going to happen. Yeah, the Four Kings, before, yeah, exactly. They're talking about the Four Kings. Ryan Garcia, who's scared of his own shadow, having mental breakdowns. Tank Davis fighting Rolly Romero. Yeah, Devin Haney, God knows what he's doing. I mean, like, Lomachenko is getting criticized for fighting Kome, a former world champion, a top 10 contender. On regular ESPN, he's getting criticized for that fight. Tank Davis is fighting Rolly Romero on pay-per-view for a baby belt. Rolly's not a top 10 contender, and that guy's getting zero critique. It's ridiculous, man. And people act like Tank Davis is still 19 years old. He's nearly 20. Was he 27? It's crazy. Yeah, Shiraz definitely a good domestic fighter. He's got talent, Shiraz. Yeah, Mars bars are elite. Yeah, Andrade has power, like you say, particularly early on when he's quick, when he's fresh, and he's kind of awkward. He's kind of hard to read, but once a guy gets a gauge on his rhythm, how he throws punches, etc., they get used to it real quick. If he's gonna knock you out, it's gonna be early. But if he can't, yeah, I would say yeah, in and around that time, yeah, 2015, 2016. Yeah, Dell's a savory kind of guy. Yeah, facts. Apparently, early next year, they're still looking at the Estrada trilogy fight. Andrade is more so just an awkward clump of unrefined athleticism more than a technician, possibly one of the rawest champions in all of boxing. I totally agree. And I'm not saying that can't work for you to a certain extent. It can throw off opponents and make you a tricky proposition, but he's not good to watch at all, Andrade. I don't care what anybody says. Nobody likes watching Andrade fight. I don't give a fuck. Honestly, though, crazy, I felt Andrade looked awful versus Liam Williams. I felt he looked awful in that fight. He got buzzed. He was holding on for dear life. He was ducking below the waist. I mean, Andrade, let's be honest here, Andrade should have had a point or two deducted in that fight. It was awful in that fight. At least Korobov is a good talent. He's got technical boxing skills. I'm not having this Andrade bullshit like hype. Listen, man, I get people rate different fighters, but I just don't see what people see in Andrade. I really don't. I really don't. Like when we're talking about American fighters, I see something in Devin Haney. I see something in Shakur Stevenson. Andrade? Nah. I see nothing in Andrade at all. Any horror movies you watch this time of year? The original Halloween. Sometimes I'll binge watch the Friday the 13th movies. Do you know what I watched the other day? The new VHS movie. If any of you guys have seen the VHS movies, they're like anthology movies kind of thing. Not anthologies, that's the wrong term, but there's like multiple short movies in one movie. And I watched the newest one. It was kind of funny, so bad it's good kind of thing, but I don't really watch movies these days, to tell you the truth. Yeah, yeah, he's feeling it, the Londoner. He's feeling it, old Eddie Hearn. Yeah, exactly, Duck. Yeah, yeah. There's nothing wrong with Dillian White Levi Khan. He's fine. It's crazy, isn't it? It's crazy that Lomachenko, of all people, is going to have the best year of the lightweights if he beats Comey. Yeah, exactly. That doesn't fit the narrative though. You know, it's crazy. It's fucking crazy. Andrade's the Leeds United of the boxing world, a first half guy. Yeah, he looks good for like 2 or 3 rounds, and then he doesn't fall to bits. That's the wrong term, but he loses his shape. He gets ragged, you know, unrefined. Yeah, I get what you're saying. I'm not going to comment on that, man. You're going to try and get me cancelled. But I think what any normal person would think in regards to that situation. Big up to Apology Man. I could tell you who it is, and I could tell you where I am. Big up to Apology. Is there a less legitimate world champion in boxing than Andrade? I'm sure there's a few, like maybe Gulamarian. Like Gulamarian's not really beat anybody at cruiserweight, to be honest. Maybe Gulamarian. I mean, you could say someone like Joe Smith. I mean, yeah, he's got a better resume than Andrade, but he lost his last fight and he's still a world champion. There's a few guys you could say, make an argument for, but yeah, Andrade's whack. Ah, duck. Andrade's my guilty pleasure to watch. Yeah, I used to train a fair while ago, but I just never had the dedication for it. So I started boxing hardcore like when I was 16. I trained for quite a while. Eventually, I got to the point where I was going to have my first amateur fight. That fight basically fell through. Apparently, the guy got injured. Then things in life changed. I had less time to train. And really, that was it, to be honest. But yeah, I wish I stuck with boxing. But, you know, you can't cry over spilt milk. It is what it is. Yeah, Duck is sick. He's a sick individual. He's a sick individual. Enjoying watching Andrade. Christ. Yeah. Andrade's fights should be featured special Undisturbed Reality. That's a real raw traumatic footage. Yeah, facts. I think I'd rather watch some dude get sliced up than watch Andrade fight, honestly. Fucking that guy, honestly. Oh don't get me wrong. Like Charlo could fucking outfox. Sorry, no, Andrade could outfox Charlo, no doubt about it. But I'd be rooting for Charlo to win that fight. I'd be rooting for Charlo, and I'm not a big Charlo fan. I agree, Jiho. Yeah, Joe Smith lost that fight. Colleen Kennedy, I need quick advice. There's a fight December the 18th, Tommy Fury versus Jake Paul in a 10-round boxing match. My brother and I are betting $300 even money odds. So who do I take to win that? I'm not going to give you any betting advice, Colleen. Yeah, that's true, actually, Duck. Yeah, how is Jamal so terrible at fighting southpaws when he sparred Lara for God knows how long? Exactly. No, 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 no. I would say Eubank Jr. wins that fight, particularly if Eubank Jr. relies on what he's good at. You know, fighting in the pocket, throwing bursts of punches. I think he'll break down Liam Williams. I see a lot of people out here picking Liam Williams to beat Eubank Jr. I think Liam Williams gets fucked up in that fight. I really do. But the only issue is this whole training setup with Roy Jones. I don't think that's right for Eubank personally, but we'll see. We'll see. But I think Eubank beats him. Oh yeah, no, don't get me wrong. Yeah, Devin Haney's an email champion, but he's better than Andrade. He's got more talent, more skill, more technical ability than Andrade every day of a week and twice on Sundays. Haney is so much better than Andrade in terms of skill. Good question. What would have been your nickname if you started to box? Do you know what nickname I really liked that wasn't utilized properly because the guy was a fucking nut job? Was the president Ike Ibushi used that name? If you remember him, the Nigerian heavyweight Ike Ibushi. Yeah, the president sounded pretty cool. Oh, yeah, Jamal calls out Golovkin when he has a fight scheduled. What's new? Yeah, and if that fight doesn't happen in 24 hours, oh, Golovkin's stuck in China. It's ridiculous, man. It's ridiculous. But, people are going to do what they do. Jamal Charlo's going to fight some random next. Golovkin's going to Japan to fight a champion. If this guy's ducking, though, okay. Ridiculous, isn't it? It's absolutely ridiculous. Like, any one of these guys could have fought Ryota Murata. Any one of these guys could have gone to Japan to try and take that title. Andrade, Charlo, But these guys don't want to step outside their comfort zone. That's what it is. Because Murata in Japan is a different animal. He's much better in Japan. But he's a hard puncher, comes to fight, etc. I'm not saying Murata's like a great fighter, but you have to go to Japan to fight this dude. So these guys weren't willing to do it. I agree. I totally agree. Yep. Ubum Jr. looked worse than ever under Roy Jones. I think Liam Williams will piece him up if he fights like that. That's my only concern, Duck, is the whole Roy Jones new style thing. But honestly, like, if Eubank does what he does, he'll fuck Liam Williams up. He'll fuck Liam Williams up, man. I mean, Liam Smith basically made Liam Williams quit, man, in that first fight. I know it was a headbutt, but Liam Williams wasn't bothered, man. He was happy to get out of it. Like, fucking Eubank Jr. bust him up, in my opinion. I just killed oh my God, I killed a fucking wasp, by the way. It's fucking flying about here for so long. Fucking killed it. Little bitch, man. Do you know what I'm so tempted to do? Like, order a takeaway, but I fucking... By the way, big up to Jim McDonald Boxing. Salute to Jim. I'll just see you here, Jim. Big up to Jim. Yeah, Eubank wins in under 10 rounds. Good fight, though. Yeah, it'll be an interesting fight. It'll be an interesting fight. Now, you know my take on that subject. I shouldn't even need to say that, to be honest with you, Jay Bilo. I've said enough crazy shit on these live streams previously, but you know how YouTube is these days, man. You got to do what you got to do, unfortunately. Until we have an alternative, a viable alternative. Yeah, he's on all sorts of samurai soups and God knows what else. Murata, but he's a good fighter. He's a fun fighter, Murata. He's a fun fighter, no doubt about it. Yeah, when Martinez was after the money against Koto, people called him a duck for not fighting Golovkin. Now Golovkin's going to Japan for the money, yet gets a pass for not fighting Charlo and Andrade. I mean, when did Andrade or Charlo offer Golovkin a fight? That's the question. It's not like he turned down those fights to fight Murata. And again, any one of these guys could have fought Murata. But, instead, Andrade's fighting Jason Quigley and Charlo fought, I forgot the dude's name, the Mexican dude, Montiel. They're not the same circumstances whatsoever. Like, if Murata's such easy work, why are these guys not fighting him? Because these guys they're not willing to fight away from home. They want these fights in their hometowns in America. Golovkin's been fighting on the road his whole career, basically, as a champion. This guy's proved so much more than Andrade and Charlo. He owes those guys nothing. Those guys need to step out their comfort zone for once. But they're not going to do it. And even when somebody does beat them, like Korobov beat Charlo, these guys get the rub of the green and get a gift decision. So fuck those guys, man. They've had long enough to fucking prove something. And again, one more thing I'll say. Murata apparently is a cherry pick, right, for Golovkin. Yeah, this cherry pick is better than any Andrade middleweight win, and it's better than any Charlo middleweight win, arguably. Says it all. It says it all, man. Like, why is Demetrius Andrade not fighting Janibek, who's been calling him out for months, highly ranked in the WBO, unbeaten? Why is Andrade not fighting Janibek? He's fighting Quigley. I mean, where? Again, you have to have an offer to duck, though. That's what I'm saying. Oh, Inouye's opponent is a fucking disgrace. Listen, man, I don't give a fuck. Maybe I don't care. There's no excuse for Inouye's next opponent. It's a joke. The guy he's fighting lost to Tommy Frank. Embarrassing. I like Inoue, but that's embarrassing. Exactly. He doesn't get a pass. Charlo and Andrade are making no real efforts to fight Golovkin. Exactly. Hence why now Jamal Charlo called out Golovkin when he has a fight scheduled. And these guys are serious and want that fight. Come on, man. You got to be able to see through this bullshit. Jamal Charlo only mentions Golovkin's name once Golovkin has a fight scheduled. Come on, man. Come on. Nobody's scared of Charlo. Nobody's scared of Charlo. Charlo doesn't want to fight anybody at whatsoever. I mean, look at Jamal, man. Jamal called out David Benavidez. I'll fight you. I'll fight you at 168. David Benavidez replies, yeah, okay, I'll fight you. Jamal Charlo replies, oh, no. You got to fight me at a catchweight, and you've got to be vaccinated. Jamal Charlo's a pussy, man. Straight up. The guy doesn't want to fight anybody. He doesn't want to fight anybody. And his career's proved that. He's fought, what's his two best wins? Julian Williams and Derevianchenko? And he's 32. Must be 32 now. Come on, man. Jamal Charlo doesn't want to fight anybody. Yeah, big up to Jim McDonald. Yeah, Smith. Yeah, Liam Smith Eubank Jr. would be good. Yeah, Andrade's got more of a case stuck with Golovkin. Yeah, fair enough. There's more of a case there. But Charlo, man. Charlo's nonsense. Charlo is absolute nonsense. And I've said for a while, I want to see Golovkin versus Andrade. It makes sense. Both guys are with the zone. Theoretically, it should be easy to make, but again, if you're Golovkin, like you signed to the zone under the proviso to get a Canelo third fight, that's not happened. So that guy is going to be fucking hard to deal with. You're going to have to pay that guy boatloads of money, and the zone don't have it. Oh yeah, what's Andrade going to say though? Of course, Andrade's going to say that. Did he ask him about him ducking? Okay, so did Ring IQ ask him about ducking Janibek? How about that? Of course, Andrade's going to throw shade. You know, he's going to try and build his profile. I expect him to do that. I would do the same thing. Come on, man. Do we really trust Andrade? This is a guy who ducked Jamel Charlo back in the day as well at 154. People forget this. 2014 fight was signed, and then all of a sudden, Andrade pulls out. Oh, there's not enough money involved. It's on record. It's on paper. Like this guy ducked fucking Jamel Charlo 6-7 years ago, and this guy somehow is now the boogeyman. Come on, man. Golovkin's fighting Murata next in a unification fight. He's doing something worth a damn. Andrade's doing nothing. Jamal Charlo's doing nothing. Bro, Munguia's fighting a better opponent than fucking Andrade. Fuck it, yeah. Andrade's... Come on, man. But you're not, though. Like, saying Jamal Charlo... And I would get you, yeah. Let's say Golovkin was fighting Spike O'Sullivan next. You would have a point, but he's not. He's fighting a unification fight. He's fighting a unification fight. He's not fighting some bum contender, you know? If he was fighting a voluntary bum fight like Spike O'Sullivan or something like that, I would get you. I would agree, but he's not. He's fighting a unification. The same guy Andrade could have fought. The same guy Charlo could have fought. But no, these guys don't want to go to like fucking they don't want to fight abroad. And that's another thing as well. Yeah, Andrade. Sorry, not Andrade. Charlo. Yeah, he ducked Andrade as well. Like at least Andrade made Charlo an offer, or his team did. Like the zone made Charlo a big offer, and Charlo turned that shit down. Like Charlo's not going to fight anybody who's not with the PBC or who's not a free agent who can go to the PBC. He's not going to fight anybody affiliated elsewhere. Yeah, that was a weird one in regards to Edwin Valero. I wouldn't be surprised if he was murdered, to be honest. I wouldn't be surprised if he was murdered at the end, but at the same time, man, considering what he did do, he kind of deserved it. Exactly. But people can't see through it. People can't see through it. Golovkin hasn't had a fight yet since what? Was it December last year? December last year, I think it was. Right? He's not had a fight since then. Charlo has said nothing about Golovkin. Only when he gets a fight scheduled. But people can't see through this bullshit. Come on now. God, fucking hell. Yeah. Yeah, the division sucks. And yeah, Inue's fighting Bum Diapen. Daenerys fighting Gabalo, who's not that good. And Kesmero's fighting Butler, who's not good at all. Yeah, exactly. Bantamweight, man. Bantamweight's fucking up. Oh yeah, Canelo Alvarez would fuck Jamal Charlo up. He would fuck Jamal Charlo up. Yeah, watch that happen. Watch that happen. He's not drained enough to fight Jason Quigley, but there's nothing like a fucking Golovkin conversation. Keeps the old juices flowing. Yeah, the whole Lara thing as well. That whole Lara thing was a complete fucking joke. Erislandi Lara. Oh, Golovkin's ducking Lara. But these guys conveniently ignore the fact that Lara's manager, Louis de Cubas, was on Boxing, I think it was Boxing Voice, with on an interview. Oh, we want Golovkin, but it has to be on Showtime. This is when Golovkin had an exclusive HBO contract. Has to be on Showtime, and Lara wants $4 or $5 million. I think it was $4 million. And back then, Golovkin wasn't that type of draw. But oh yeah, Golovkin ducked Lara. Okay, these people are full of shit, man. They'll read a headline. They'll see somebody call somebody out on Twitter. Oh, so and so's ducking. It's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Oh yeah, and Trout. Yeah, and Trout. Exactly. Yeah, the Julian Williams win didn't age well. Yeah, I find it funny how Jamal Charlo consistently fights for top guys in his division, while Jamal completely isolates himself from any elite competition. I think what it is, I think it's just that at 154, PBC just have more of the selection for Jamal to fight. I think if PBC had like a stacked division where they had all of the guys would fight each other. They are just so reluctant to let their guys fight an outsider in case they lose their title or lose their standing. That's what they're worried about. They don't want to lose their commodities hype to another promotion kind of thing. I don't think necessarily. Maybe it's not Jamal Charlo. Maybe it's not Tank Davis. That could be a possibility. Maybe it's just the business model of PBC. But who the fuck knows? And I'm not saying PBC are the only ones who do it, but they do it the most aggressively when it comes to in-house fights in 2021, without a doubt. Oh no, I agree, Shadow Combat, but you've got a good fight in Golovkin and Murata. That's all I'm saying. It's not, again, all I'm saying is it's not like Golovkin has had a year out and then he's fighting Spike O'Sullivan. Do you know what I mean? That's not what's happening here. And I appreciate Murata's been out a little while, fair enough, but so's Golovkin. He's been out a little while, and Golovkin's nearly 40. So considering where both guys are at, considering their styles, it's in Japan. It's a good fight, man. It's a good fight. That's all I'm saying. And I think it's hard to say Golovkin's stuck in Charlo and Andrade while he's fighting the best competition in comparison to Charlo and Andrade. That's what I'm saying. I'm sure Andrade does want that fight right now, but yeah, basically. But again, he's doing it while fighting a good fight. Yeah, UFC's killing boxing, especially in the USA. Yeah, that'd be good, man. If they could make Andrade Golovkin after their fight this year, they're going to want a return on what they paid for Golovkin and Andrade exactly. But yeah, hopefully we see that fight. Well, that's if Golovkin beats Murata. But if Golovkin beats Murata, or either or, whoever wins that fight, I want to see them fight Andrade because he's going to beat Quigley. Hopefully we get a unification. Yeah, we'll see with Golovkin. I think this next fight with Golovkin is going to show us all we need to see about Gennady right now. We'll see what he has left. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like Golovkin, I'll be honest, yeah. I will admit, Golovkin right now, it does seem like he's taking the piss when it comes to his career. He's getting paid he's getting paid extremely well, and he's managed to fight Steve Rolls and Cesar Moretta. I know Cesar Moretta was Mando, but he still sucks, let's be honest. But even saying that, like, he's still somehow managed to have a better fight than Jamal Charlo and Andrade. That's an embarrassment to those guys when you've got a semi-retired guy in Golovkin who's still fighting better competition. They should be embarrassed, to be honest. They should be embarrassed. But I get you, man. Golovkin, he's definitely milking it now. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. But, you know, this next fight in particular is very good. It's very good. Yeah, exactly. But Lomachenko gets shit on. Like Roman Gonzalez gets shit on. You know what I mean? The guys who want to fight their best and prove themselves, oh, when they first take a loss, oh, they're a hype job. Can you remember when Roman Gonzalez lost his first fight? These same guys, you know, like bigging up Tank Davis, Jamal Charlo, etc. Oh, Roman Gonzalez was always a hype job. What a fucking disgrace. When this guy would fight anybody, anywhere, anytime. Multi-weight world champion, fought in Japan, fought in America, fought God knows where, fighting away from home. Multiple world titles, beat multiple world champions. But this guy was a hype job when he finally lost. It's ridiculous, man. Absolutely ridiculous. Crazy shit, man. It's crazy shit. You see a guy, man, doing what you want as a fight fan and people criticize. Because ultimately, yeah, as a fight fan, what do you want from a fighter? For him to be ready, willing, and able to fight anybody, anywhere, anytime. That's really the only requirement as a boxing fan. And there's not many guys who do that in boxing in 2021, including Golovkin, by the way. But guys like Roman Gonzalez, Lomachenko, Usyk, who are guys who do that, these guys get shit on. Like, by so many fans, it's ridiculous. Like Sean Porter, another guy who gets shit on by American boxing fans. I don't understand that. Like one of your own, a guy who fights anybody, anywhere, anytime, always comes to bring it. Never an easy night. And this guy gets shit on. Oh, he's corny. He's sloppy. He's, you know, he's soft. Imagine calling Sean Porter soft. That guy's got more balls than most people combined. It's ridiculous, man. But a guy like fucking Jamal Charlo, oh, that guy's the truth. Get the fuck out of here, man. It's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Can you imagine supporting like Jamal Charlo over Sean Porter. It's fucking ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Yeah, fair enough, man. We will agree to disagree, Shadow. We will agree to disagree. I think it'll be a good fight, man. I really do. Listen, if it was a few years ago, I think Golovkin cleans him out. But where Golovkin's at now, I think it's a good fight. I think it's a good fight. Murata's going to take some. He's going to take some shots, man, and he'll throw some back. And he hits hard, Murata, Olympic gold medalist. He's not a bad fighter at all, particularly in Japan. Big up to Hamilton Steele with the old Sonny Liston picture. It's okay. Yeah, Ronnie Rios is Mando. Ronnie Rios is a solid top 10 contender. It's all right. Big up to Nordic Warrior. That's what I'm saying, Marianne G. That's what I'm saying. Like, Murata's not a bad fighter whatsoever. As I said, he's got a good amateur background. He's fighting Golovkin in Japan. He's got home advantage. You know? And Murata's a much better fighter in Japan, from what I've seen. He looks much more formidable in Japan. Hard puncher, aggressive. He's got a really nice, he's got a weird technique on his overhand right. It's almost like he's throwing a baseball, if that makes sense. It's really, really quick, really, really disguised, and that's a powerful shot, man. So that's going to be a good fight. I'm telling you, if that's not a good fight, I'll be surprised. I think that's a hard fight for Golovkin. I really do. Yeah. Chocolatito was a HBO hype job. Yep. It's ridiculous. Call me crazy, but I think Roman Gonzalez can win a trilogy fight with Rungvisai. I think Rungvisai is more past it than Roman himself now. Yeah, Rungvisai's not looked good for a little while. He looked okay in his last fight, but I mean, the guy he was fighting was awful. So we'll see with Rungvisai. He's not fought in a while, Rungvisai. Bro, I've seen a lot of people shit on Usyk. Yeah, 36-year-old Bud is fighting David Lemieux and the title, and it's his best fight to date. Yeah, exactly. I mean, what do you get out of supporting Jamal Charlo as purely as a boxing fan? What do you get out of it? Absolutely nothing. This guy, since 2016, has had 2 fights I care about. Julian Williams, at the time, which was a good fight, and Derevyanchenko. He's had 2 fights I care about since 2016, in 5 years. Yeah. Yeah, I'm glad Crawford is finally stepping up at welterweight. I was starting to lose my patience with him. Yeah, it's a good fight. Hopefully it's just an evenly competitive fight. Hopefully we get a barn burner. That's what I'm hoping for. And the best man's going to win. Hopefully it's fair though. But I'm hoping for a good fight. But if Bud's the guy, people have been selling Bud as this boogeyman, the destroyer at 147, head and shoulders above everybody, pound for pound number 1. If he is the guy that they've sold him as, he should win this fight comfortably. The other champions, the belt holders, go life and death with Sean Porter. But the pound for pound number 1 guy should beat Porter easily, as far as I'm concerned. So we'll see what happens. if Crawford beats Porter like decisively and dominates, I'll give him credit because I'm not expecting it. I'll give him credit, but I don't see that happening. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Rungvisai fought March this year. Yeah, layup. Yeah, he's I think he's Mando with the WBC. Yeah, people were hyping up to BT. They were hyping up to BT back in the day, and then Dorticos got to him and knocked him spark out. That was a savage knockout as well. When Tabiti fought Dorticos, Dorticos sent him to another dimension. Christ. Yeah, Julian Williams lost to the guy Madrimov stopped on his debut. Yeah. And that's one of Jamal Charlo's best wins. Listen, man, I can't hold that against Charlo, to be honest. You know, I always try and grade wins how they were viewed at the time. If that makes sense. I try not to use hindsight. Just how the public was seeing it at the time and how I felt at the time. I won't hold that against Jamal Charlo too much. Big up to Brian Harkin. I used to think Vladimir would come out of retirement and try and be the oldest heavyweight champion, Chris, but as the time goes on, I'm not so sure, to be honest. I'm not so sure. Maybe he still will. There's a theory that Dorticos actually killed Tabiti in their fight, and his team is saving face by posting Insta pics of Tabiti training from time to time. Yeah, he got fucked up. Listen, bro. I've not heard from that guy since. I've not heard from him since. I assumed he retired, Tabiti. I assumed he retired. Oh, you mean Jared Anderson? I actually do think Jared Anderson has talent, to be fair to him. I think he's got talent. Very young still. I think Anderson is worth following. Yeah, there was Andrew Tabiti, Jalen Love, Mickey Bay, Rolly Romero, and yeah, Tank Davis. Like Badu Jack was the only TMT fighter who went in hard. Like Badu Jack had a bit of a. I always felt Badu Jack had some bad fortune. You know, I felt he clearly beat James DeGale like comfortably, easily beat James DeGale. I'll never get what anybody saw in that fight when they said it was close or you know a draw was a fair result. Badu Jack beat the fuck out of James DeGale. Like Badu Jack was the only guy really from that crop of fighters who gave me what I wanted as a boxing fan. Yeah, Mickey Bay got cleaned out by who was it? John Molina, I think it was. I'm sure he got knocked out by John Molina. I might be wrong. I'm pretty sure though. Yeah. Basically, yeah. Yeah, Taviti's probably just standing in for Jerome Miller as Floyd's security guard now that Big Baby Pharmacy's planning a comeback. Yeah. Yeah, I forgot Mickey Bay existed as well. Oh yeah, she can beat Golovkin though, Clarissa Shields. But in all seriousness though, I never knew she was even fighting until I saw on Twitter that she lost. So Whatever, man. It is what it is. I agree, Nordic. I felt Jack clearly won. Clearly won. Like he beat the piss out of James DeGale. He beat what was left out of James DeGale out of him. James DeGale was never the same after that fight. He fucked James DeGale up. Yeah, he does. Yeah, he does have a European style. Nice tight high guard, good straight punches, nice punch technique, lovely jab. He's one of those guys, though. It goes to show, like when you master the basics, you can go a long way. He's a strong dude as well, well conditioned. It wasn't none of that flashy razzmatazz, but he done all the basics really well. Very good fighter, Badu Jack. Very good fighter. He's fighting at cruiserweight soon, Badu Jack. I think that's a step too far, to be honest. But Minivan Davis. Yeah, that's it. John Molina Jr. Yeah, knocked out Bay. I thought so. Yeah, I agree. Okay, so Rungvisai was supposed to face Quadras in a WBC title eliminator, while Estrada and Chocolatito have their trilogy. Okay, cool. I wouldn't mind seeing those fights. I'm not sure how Quadras keeps on getting opportunities, though. Anyway, guys, I've got to wrap this one up. It's getting late over here. I'm just kind of tired. It's 12:05 in the AM here in the UK. So I'm going to wrap this one up. Have an early night. Anyway, hopefully you guys have a good weekend. Don't do anything I wouldn't do. Stay away from the witch's potion, and yeah, stay safe. Peace.